Welcome to Coach's Corner with Coach Eric Strothers. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Katina Rankin. So excited with who you have on today, Coach.
I'm Eric Strothers, and I got a very special player today, Antonio Patterson, out of Texas, Dallas, Texas. Antonio, why don't you tell the audience a little something about yourself?
Like Coach said, I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I didn't start playing basketball. I've been a football player my whole life. I started playing basketball going into 7th grade. I didn't get confident in it until, I think 9th grade. I really didn't even see myself going to college, so I wanted to play football again, but felt like I was better at basketball. That's what everybody was telling me. I stuck to it and stayed with it. Now I'm here.
So from the physique, when you were playing football, running back?
Quarterback, receiver, and cornerback.
Okay, quarterback.
Antonio, well, we saw you play, and I was very interested in your high level of play. So, I drove 6 hours and stayed in your house for another 3 hours to recruit you. Just tell me what was one of your major decisions to come to Tougaloo College.
Leaving home. That's another reason why it took 3 hours. I wanted to go to school, but I wasn't trying to make a decision if I wanted to leave home because I know I stayed with my granny and I didn't trust nobody else with my granny. So it was a big decision. But she was in her head telling me that, like, y'all were good coaches, et cetera, just go. This one just made the decision for you. So I made it. Now I'm here. And we made history last year. I'm trying to make it again.
Yeah. Well, when you say made history last year, we made some good history last year. What are the things that you taking place and what you're doing now to help us make history again next year?
The leadership from my seniors and everything I took from them. Coach, you taught me a lot and the seniors taught me a lot. I matured a lot coming to Tougaloo. They showed me a lot of the HBCU experience, and now I feel like I'm more of a veteran on the court or another coach as a player. But,
So you said that he taught you a lot. What exactly did Strothers teach you?
As of basketball intelligence, I didn't have any basketball intelligence coming into college. I can admit that because I was a football player my whole life. So I told him personally, like, he taught me a lot. Like, when I came from sitting at the end of the bench to the next to him, I started seeing the game how he's seeing the game. It was easier and I slowed down. He used to tell me my pace was bad. My pace was bad. I'm moving like it was high school. How all the high school kids from all state 25 in this. But once I got to college, I was trying to keep that same pace and it wasn't working. He was telling me to slow down. And then I realized, he made me get off the bench because my attitude was bad. So when I came out the bench, I started realizing how everybody was moving. So I just took my time doing everything. And it just slowed down. I seen everything faster. Everything slowed down for me. It just became easier. And I'm going to just take that into this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I watched you grow, Antonio, and you grew up this year, and I appreciate that because we had some ups and downs, and I think you was mature enough, and I think your character came out front. But one thing about me, and you know that I'm all about discipline, and I'm all about having good character in everything that you do. So what you got to do from this year, Antonio, you got to step it up in every aspect of your life. I mean, academics, I preach academics every day, all day. You got to pick that up, and then you got to pick your attitude up, okay? You got to, now you was led. Now you got to be the leader, okay? So I'm expecting for you to come in, and I'm expecting for you to lead this team to where we was last year.
Well, I want to talk about this because I so enjoyed you playing and I loved every time that you got in the game, right? And I was like, okay, what is little Antonio going to do? What is he going to give us? I want to know what you really liked about his game.
I like his game because he's a passionate player. He's very passionate, and then he's so skillful. He can play on the outside. He can post up and play on the inside. He can make good moves to the basket, and he's just so athletic. He can really jump and jump out the gym. And you know, I had to manage him. Right now, I'm gonna manage him. Tell him, Antonio, put those keys down. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
He may just be nervous.
Yeah, well, he might be nervous, but that's what I had to do in the game to him because he'll get distracted a lot. But I'm looking for him not to be so distracted this year as he was last year. Last year, I let him get away with a few things because he was a freshman. And you know, I try to cultivate my freshmen, and I try to develop my freshmen into being, from a freshman, I look at his progress from freshman, sophomore to junior, then also to when he's a senior. And the number one thing I want him to do is graduate. But he has some special skills about himself. And he's a special player. He's one of those guys that you recruit and you know he's going to be great. So he got that type of talent. And people might say, well, Coach, you said, no, he got that type of ability. This guy right here can be really, really special.
Well, I think he is special. I mean, I love his dimples and the smile. If I could ever get him to smile. Ariel behind the camera likes him too. I want to get a little personal because I think it will help people at home understand you. I even think that it will help the coach, what he doesn't know, as we try to delve a little bit deeper into your life, right? So, you grew up in Dallas. Was it Highland Heights?
Highland Hills.
Highland Hills. Yeah, tell me about that.
Like, so from the beginning?
Yeah.
Growing up, I had a decent childhood until all the traumatic stuff happened for me when I was around 8 years old. I moved with my aunt and uncle because everyone in my household ended up going to prison. Besides the kids, we all got separated. I got separated from my siblings. They all went with my aunt, and I went with my other aunt. They were real young, but I was old enough to know what was going on, so it always affected me. But that's what really transitioned for me playing football and basketball. I moved to a house full of basketball players. I'm the only one playing football. And I was just like, who gonna play throwback tackle with me? And they over there playing 21. So I'm like, okay. And I eventually went over there. I was just good at shooting the ball. I always was like a role player. My cousin was a little point guard. He was real little, 3'9". I was like 4'2". I didn't even know I could jump until one day we was just outside. I was like 5'2". It was just trying to grab the rim. I just ran up there and jumped. I was like, I can grab the rim. Then next year, I hit a growth spurt. I get a 7-inch growth spurt because the doctor told me I was supposed to stop running at 5'5". My mom like 5'6". My daddy 5'5".
Mm-hmm.
So when I jumped, I was like, I want to dunk. And after that, my 8th grade year, I grew, and I just started dunking the ball. Ever since, I just grew love for basketball because it became easier and easier. But I always played on my athleticism, to get skilled, like I said, to now. Because I didn't focus on my skill. I always had to play with him. I just give him the ball, let him break the press. I just catch the ball dunk. It was just a 2-man show. But when they went to prison, it kind of like bothered me a little bit. That carried me. Like, I always lied about it when I was younger because I didn't want nobody to know. And now I'm more shut off, more isolated to myself. Like, I'd rather go to the gym by myself. I do everything alone. I sit in my car, drive by myself. I cope. I can't even tell you how I cope. I got so many ways, but they by myself. I can't be around people. Like, I had a girlfriend. I can't, like, certain times, like, I want to be around her, but like, I'm a distant lover. So like, it's like certain times I just need my own space. She don't even be doing her own. I just need my own space.
So let's sort of help unpack this for the viewers. So you're around 8, and your parents are taken from you. We'll put it like that. And some things need to stay personal. And so then you move in with your aunt and your uncle, but that's where you develop those skills of basketball. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you transition over to your grandmother's home. Tell me about that.
Transition over from my aunt's to my granny house, it was kind of a hard deal because my aunt felt like she raised me, and she felt like it was kind of a betrayal, but it wasn't so much as a betrayal. I just didn't want my granny to be by herself. Like, still to when I moved with her into now, it always just been me and my granny. Like, my mom was here. I was always a granny's baby, so I was like, do I want to leave from over here? It was a weird environment because when I went with my granny, it was nothing over there. It was just me and her. Like, she taught me how to drive when I was 16. I've been driving ever since. But when I was over there with my cousins, we had everything. Like, if I wanted to play football, run track, we had a family park. That was our family park across the street from us. So I could do whatever I want to do at the court. I can go outside and clear my mind, go shoot at any time. When I go to my granny house, it was kind of frustrating. So like when she doing all the nagging, I can't do nothing. I just got to sit there and take it. That kind of built my mental. But like with so much going on from when I was younger and me just holding it in, it kind of like after I graduated, everything kind of like built up and came out. So sometimes at practice, Coach Stratton and Coach Bill was knowing there's something wrong with me because like I get aggravated faster. So he always asks me what's wrong with me. I say no, nothing of course, but he already knows something wrong with me. But
Yeah, I can tell that you're using suppression mechanisms to talk to us. So, 8 years old, you're separated from your parents, you're separated from your siblings, and then you're playing basketball and another traumatic experience happened. Tell me about that.
my closest homeboy, he got shot in the head right next to me. We were all playing 3-on-3 in the summer. I think it was like 7th grade year going to 8th grade. It was a couple things that happened that summer. They had a shootout in our yard, but that was the one that really just affected me because I've seen people get killed before. I've seen people get shot before. It's just like someone I was like closest to. Like I first came to the neighborhood. I've been knowing him since I came there. He was like a brother, but he was older than us. Like his birthday was like a week before that. He was supposed to be going to college, and it like bothered all of us in the house because we seen it and like it was just who he was to us. So like we always carried that with us. We rest in peace, Pat. All that, but like we spray painted it on the court, all that stuff. But it was just when he was right next to me and I seen it, it was like in slow motion. I seen everything hit him. I seen the smoke. So I honestly now I never liked guns. Like I always was part of the generation of like we can go fight and live another day, but people shoot all day. I don't tolerate guns. I don't like being around it. Even if you're close to me, I just don't because accidents happen.
So I saw you at the James Meredith March Against Crime. Was that part of the reason that you wanted to take part besides the team as a whole taking part?
You could say that too. I didn't know much about him until that day, but actually all the stuff that's been happening after we won, I've been enjoying Mississippi. Like I didn't realize how much history was here until I got here. Like after we did all the stuff, like I didn't know who he was, but that was part of the reason. Once I found out what happened to him and stuff, I ain't know it was 90.
Yeah, he looks really good for 90, doesn't he?
He's been here for a minute.
And back in 1966 is when he actually started the actual march. It was a march against fear, and it started in Memphis, Tennessee. And on his second day, walking in Hernando, Mississippi, he was shot in the back. And he was walking to get people to register to vote. And so then Dr. Martin Luther King got involved, just having a teachable moment here. And then Stokely Carmichael came down. And when he was able to get out of the hospital, all three of them finished that march. And they finished it at the state capitol where you guys marched to. And it was the largest crowd that had gathered at the Mississippi State Capitol. And because he was shot, he wanted to finish it. But with everything that was going on in the capital city, and Coach talked about it on one of his other shows, he wants to also stop the crime. So here's the other thing that I want to talk to you about. Is basketball an outlet for everything that you went through in your childhood?
Yeah. It was basketball got me through a lot of things, and yeah, I feel like if I can make it to where I want to make it, it don't matter which pro level, but I just want to make money doing whatever I love. I feel like I can get my people back, but yeah, it's also therapeutic for me because now I got my siblings looking up to me. They love seeing me play. My people love seeing me play. It's so much come with it. It's positive and negative because I got certain people in my family that I haven't seen since I was young, and they can come until they see me. Like I'm on the news now. All of a sudden, you want to be hey this. I didn't really like that. Like I just started seeing you again. I forgot what you look like honestly, but it's so much stuff that happened in my family. Like I don't know who to hang around. Like as of now, I don't have friends. Like my teammates are just as close to me as my family. But I only hang with my cousins at home. I got like 4 to 5 cousins. Those are the only people I talk to. And my granny, I don't be at home because I'm always over there with them. When I'm staying in the apartment with me. But
So Antonio, tell us during the season, what was one of the bright moments in the season for you this season?
one of the moments that stood out.
Yeah, one of the moments that stood out for you.
Winning the conference championship after everybody told me, after all the seniors told me they was gonna give me a ring, and we actually got it. Then making it to nationals, I didn't know we never made it to the Elite Eight. I think did we make it to the Elite Eight?
Yeah, Elite Eight.
But
Yeah,
they-
you did. It
Okay.
was the first time though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And losing the seniors because they taught me so much, and they were like that. I didn't want to lose that team in general. Like it didn't matter if it was the worst player. Like we all held each other accountable. We were like literally brothers. Like I didn't. A lot of people, you know, we bumped heads all the time, but like we kept it inside the gym. I never had a team like that. Like we can fight in the gym. Nobody even know nothing happened after that. Like we don't know until we come back to practice. Like, oh, they did this, they doing that, but like nothing ever left the gym. We always stayed in there. We always had each other backs. Like
So-
I still talk to them now. Nobody left the group chat.
Yeah,
We
so,
all still talk to each other.
so it was very special for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it was, Antonio. And just to say, I know you've been through a lot, and this was one of the bright moments in your life. And I hope you build from this moment. And you can't forget the past. All you got to do is just learn from the past and try to build your life from what you know about what happened in the past. And I'm just so excited to have you on the team. And now you can take your leadership and put them into the younger players that's coming up. And you see some of the younger players and they need help. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to work on. You talking about we lost a lot. And we're expecting for you to fill that gap, and then we're looking for you to fill the gap of the leadership role that we had this year. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
What do you think you bring to the table?
As of now, this year I'm gonna have to bring leadership. Just off being in a position they were in, I can feel how they felt because their pace is different, and you can tell they feel for the game is different. They got to get used to the coaches too, because we got harsh coaches. You got to be mentally strong for them. They gonna always break you down to build you up. I had to learn that from looking. I mean, when they told me all that, I was fine. Like I just like sometimes coaching them says I just brush it off. Okay, cool. Let me do this because last year I would respond. I was like, Coach, what are you talking about? I ain't do this. Like Coach Bill would say, you right there. Like I'll take a step here, and it's not the step that Coach Bills don't want me to take. We doing it all day for 50 minutes. So like I had to just learn to just sit there and be quiet, just let them do it. Because they wasn't lying. You can't tell the coach what they're doing, all right? And I can't put myself in the game, so I have to realize I got to shut up about that too. I learned that last year too. Going from starting to the end of the bench to back to playing.
I like perfection. You know,
Yeah, both of y'all perfection.
I like perfection, and what I pour into them is determination to win. You know, and it's not all about what you do on the court. It's a lot about what you do off the court. And he learned that from me, and he's gonna learn some more things from me as he trickles through Tougaloo.
What's the number one thing you want to instill in him?
I want him to instill passion for his life, and to learn that you got to live for others sometimes. So everybody is learning today, young guys, they live just for them. You got to be able to live for others. And then you can pour your what you learn from me and what you learn from other people, you can pour that into other people. And then everybody can learn something from it.
What have you learned about Antonio during this session that makes you want to be a better coach to him?
Well, you know, basically, you know, Antonio, some of the things that you said, I didn't know a lot about it. You know, I know I recruited you, and I know your grandmother told me some things, but she didn't tell me those things that was just told here. I just got more compassion for you now. I think that you are doing an excellent job is handling your situation and just handling me and the coaching staff, and then just handling Tougaloo. And I see you doing a better job of going to class, getting your work. And I just like for you to carry that on, man, and teach the other guys. I know, you know, I could come to study hall. When I came to study hall, I always saw you in study hall. I always saw you doing something. So, and the other thing I like about you is you have compassion for others. And that's going to take you a long way in life, having compassion for others. And, you know, it was a situation yesterday that I called you and got on you about. But I really liked that you was compassionate, but you can't always stick your hand in the cookie jar. Okay, you got to sometimes you got to just let that situation handle itself. So that's what I want you to take from yesterday event. Okay.
What else do you want us to know about you in your life?
That's really just my origin story. Everything about that really just made me how I am now. I'm just kind of numb to everything.
That's what I want to talk about, because you told me that you were numb. So even when he is being mean, you don't feel it.
No, not really.
No, he feel it. He feel it.
I get frustrated fast.
He feel it. Well, it's not me being mean. It's just me wanting him to do the right thing. You know, I want them to do it the right way every time. You know, so they get used to that. Like he's used to it. So what he's saying that the other players that I brought in, they got to get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did a 30-minute documentary. I talked to your players.
Right.
Trajan,
Right.
I mean, Big Cam, Little Cam, they all talked about how tough you are, but you come back to them and let them know that you love them.
Right.
So we're not discounting that. But what I am hearing is that he is numb to certain things. And regardless of how tough you are on him,
Mm-hmm.
that's being flushed away, because he hadn't gone through secondhand trauma. He has gone through firsthand trauma.
Right. And what I'm doing, Katina, is I'm talking to the counselors on campus.
Yeah,
And we're going to get my players some help.
yeah.
Because, you know, they need some counseling. You know, a lot of them need counseling because they've been traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had to walk for balance. The reason I was there for that, because a lot of my players have lost guys that was close to them.
Yeah.
You know, you talking about Lil Cam, you talking about Big Cam that lost player, you talking about Antonio that lost people that was really close to him. And I got other guys on the team the same way. Just from violence, the gun violence, this terrorizing our community. They lost it. They need counseling. They need some real serious counseling. And I'm talking to the counselors on Tougaloo campus, and they're gonna come in and they're gonna counsel my guys.
And here's what I want you to know, that there's nothing wrong with counseling. I did it. When my father died and I was in the room and he had that aneurysm and he was trying to talk to me and it burst, I felt like I caused him to die. So I went to like 3 counselors before I was like, okay, I didn't cause my father to die. Counseling is good, and it's been a stigma within the African American community that we shouldn't get it, when other ethnicities have been getting it. And so we needed to push through, because you're great now, but you could be even greater if you dealt with the issues. And I understand that that's why you shut down, but there's greatness in you, and you are seasoned for the season. And I want you to remember that. There is greatness inside of you. Coach is going to bring it out. He's going to get other people to bring it out. And I believe that you guys are going to have another wonderful season and that you're going to be champions again. I just believe that, because I know you can turn pain into purpose. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to feel that. Did you feel it? Did you feel it?
I feel it.
Okay, good deal.
Well, we're talking about 3P.
Yeah.
So we talking about 3P, and it's only a few people can say that they 3P. You know, there's a few people out there that can say, hey, I was on a team that we won 3 in a row. So we talking about it now, and we putting some things in place to get us up there. We not there now. We talking about we was here. I think now we are here.
Yeah.
We trying to reach here, and then we get back to there. So we working on it right now.
Yeah. I have faith in you guys, and I know you'll do it. And here's what I like about this show. We've been raw and we've been real. You've seen our personalities. You see what people don't see on the court. You see what people don't see behind the scenes. And because we're real, we're human, and we all go through different things. And we want this show to be different. We want to touch real issues. We want to touch the heart. And we hope that you have enjoyed it. Antonio, it's been great having you on. I can't wait to see the dimples and the smile again. I can't wait to see you on the court. Coach, thank you for being transparent. Thank you for watching Coach's Corner with Eric Strothers. I'm Katina Rankin.
I'm Eric Strothers.